madly engrossed in so many other pursuits. Very difficult to appreciate. Krishna left it, we know about it. But what is this Govardhan? What is its significance? It's amazing. So if not this Brajavasis, there are people who go and do this circumambulation. There is also the monkeys who will be found in this place. Some say they are great exalted devotees who did some aparadh and they are cursed and they become monkeys, and in this life they become purified and they can go. Very interesting thing, another Acharya who comments is, when we are doing parikrama around Govardhan, the center of our parikrama, or the circle, is Govardhan. And it is always equidistant. Something from that we can learn in our life. Our life's positions keep changing. We are sometimes a young baby, sometimes we will become adult, sometimes we will become old. All these physical transformations are happening. But if we keep in center Krishna, your life will be perfect. If not this, it's quite hot actually. In winter it's extreme weather and it gets very cold. You don't even believe that there are devotees like this who do parikrama all 24 kilometers by doing dandavats. And there are some of them who do 108 times dandavat in one place, then they move to the next one. So that's why those stones are kept next to him. He will do 108 times. God knows how long it will take. And then they will get up and then go. Here we find people come to temple, nice marble flooring. We purchase with great difficulty and austerity. Still people find it difficult to bow down. And how much ignorance is deeply within us. And why does this come? Where does this ignorance come? One of the primary reasons where the ignorance stems from is I am in control of my life. I don't need God. There's no need, there is no necessity of God in my life. We will see some interesting aspects of Govardhan, very, very sobering, very, very interesting this pastimes. Of course, we are all limited by time. It's already 6:52. By the time you start this prayers, it can take years to meditate. Why this one word, Hari Dasa Variyo? He is the servant of Lord, but he is the topmost servant. And mind you, this statement is made by not some ordinary person like you and me, by Radharani. Srimati Radharani is telling Hari Dasa Variyo. He is the topmost of He is the topmost of the devotees. What is it that is there in Govardhan that makes him the topmost? At least, even if we are not there in that position, theoretically we should try to understand. So let us chant this verse, and then we will see how much ever we can cover, we'll cover, and we'll be happy with that. There's a lot of things to be done. Those of you who are coming for the first time, of course, we will have this meditation on Govardhan for another half an hour or so. Then we will have Kirtan. There is an Arati for Govardhan. There is Damodara Ashtakam, a wonderful composition by Satyavrat Muni, which we will be meditating and singing, and each one of you will get a chance to offer healing. My request, humble submission to all of you, think about Govardhan. Even if physically we are not there, but mentally we can transport ourselves and understand this pastimes as if it is happening right now in front of me. I am one of those Brajavasis. For the time being, even if I am not fully there, yes, I can also be one of the Brajavasis. I can experience what these people, what they have gone through, how Krishna protected. Let us chant this verse. Hantaya Madriravala Haridasa Variyo Yad Rama Krishna Charana Sparsha Pramodaha Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayostayorya Pani Asuya Sakandara Kanda Mulai Hantaya Madriravala Haridasa Variyo Yad Rama Krishna Charana Sparsha Pramodaha Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayostayorya Pani Asuya Vasakanda Antayamatriravala Haridasa Varyo Yad Rama Krishna Charana Sparsha Pramodaha Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayostayorya Paniya Surya Vasakandara Kandamulai. The translation is, of all the devotees, this Govardhan hill is the best. This is Radharani saying to her friends, Sakhis. Hantayam Adhir Avala. Avala is friends, who are in the female. Oh Sakhis, oh friends. Of all the devotees, this Govardhan hill is the best. Harinasa Varyo. Oh my friends, this hill supplies Krishna and Balaram along with their calves, cows and cowherd friends with all kinds of necessities. Water for drinking, very soft grass, caves, fruits, flowers and vegetables. In this way, the hill offers respect to the Lord. Being touched by the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram, Govardhan hill appears very jubilant. If a verse, you forget the whole verse, doesn't matter. But if you are able to remember 3 words, okay, one is Haridasa Varya, that is one word. Though it has 3 words appearing like that, but it is one word because that's why they've used the hyphen. Hari Dasa Varya. Dasa is servant, servant of whom? Hari, and Varyo is the topmost. So the moment we think of Govardhan, we should remember Haridasa Varyo, topmost servant of Krishna. And then the other 2 words which is very important is Pramodaha and Manam. Pramodaha, he becomes jubilant. And Manam, he offers respect. Manam Tanoti. These 3-4 words is the secret of how he is the Haridasa Varyo. Haridasa Varyo, he is Pramodaha, he is having this jubilation, and Manam Tanoti, he is giving respect to the devotees of Krishna. We will see further. But before we go, because sometimes even the concept of Krishna, the Supreme Lord, does not strike us. Very unfortunate, we don't, unless somebody sees through the scripture and the vision, who is the Supreme Lord really? Very debatable question. Often people, when they don't get the right answer from the proper source, either they become atheistic or they become, they say, I don't need to go to the Lord. And there are movies which are made which depict as if, this is a false notion or some kind of sentiment people have, and somebody is encashing on those. So sometimes the heroes, when they play a role where they don't believe in the existence of God, we relate to that. Because there is sufficient information or propaganda in the outside world to make us believe there is no God. So it's very, and then unfortunately there are so many people who give different versions of God. This is God, that is God. There is a friend of mine who's an astrologer. I asked him, so how is this thing going on? He's in Puri. Sometimes we were in the same school, but he didn't end up doing any higher studies, and somehow he took it up as his profession. So when he's asked how things are going, then he'll say, these days people are very scared of Ugra Ketu. I said, what Ugra Ketu means what? I've heard of Ketu, Sani, Rahu, Ketu, we've all heard of. So Ugra Ketu. So he's saying every time you say Ketu, people also get frustrated and disappointed. You have to tell something new. So I have come up with this word called Ugra Ketu. Then I said, what is it Ugra Ketu? So in the same graha, if Rahu and Ketu are there, I call it as Ugra Ketu. This is what he says, I'm not making it up. And there are people who believe. There are many of us who say, okay, they wear different kinds of stones, rings. This puja, that Sani puja, Rahu puja, Ketu puja. There was some new housewarming ceremony we were invited. We were doing Narsimha Yajna. You are worshipping Narasimha, everything else is taken care. But the owner was insisting that we should do a Navagraha Puja, especially Sunny. Sunny is very powerful and not in the right place, and we are having trouble. So there are people who are flourishing by taking advantage of people's misunderstanding or lack of knowledge, clarity in who is the Supreme Lord, and they are doing things, and unfortunately they remain in ignorance. So let us see what is the significance of this and why this is very important for us to know this pastime. One of the things I want to ask before we go to the pastime, actual pastime, have you ever felt less confident in life? Yes, okay. And what could be the instances of being less confident? Before exam? Okay, yeah. Is there any student there or who? Gautam, you answer. Okay. You're still writing exams? You're done with it. Okay. But exam is definitely one of the times where it makes us very stressful and we feel very less confident. What else?
Calculus test.
Calculus test. Okay. Calculus is presentation. Yeah. Public speaking or presentation is another thing which is most dreaded. Okay. Anything else?
Sometimes you are 100% sure this will definitely happen. It doesn't go in that way.
Less confident. Okay. What is the reason for feeling less confident in life? Why do we feel fearful, or what is it that?
Loss of faith.
Loss of
Faith.
loss of faith. Okay. Loss of faith on whom?
Krishna.
Loss of faith on Krishna. That's why you feel less confident.
Yeah, your faith is a little shaken.
Okay. Really, huh?
If you are not sufficiently prepared enough.
If you are not sufficiently prepared, and so there is a sense of maybe I will go wrong. What if I don't perform to the expectations of people? Like why people are so scared of public speaking? Why they froze? I mean, they come and they stand in front of the people or audience, and all of a sudden the words don't come out because there is a fear of being judged. What if what if I'm not able to do, and what if people think something about me? What happens is in our life, often this fear that what if I go wrong, or what people will think of me, makes us very disconfident. And one of the fundamental reasons why this happens is because we think we are in control of things. I'm in control of these things. I can do it. And then there are a lot of this self-talks we hear. All is well, all is well. Those positive affirmations, yes, you can do it. It's a matter of time. But it is not true. The fact is, we can always be confident if we depend on the Supreme Lord. If we are Krishna confident, if we know that I have the Lord who is going to protect me. What is the difference between Brajavasis and any ordinary conditioned living entities who are living in the material world? What is the difference? The word Braja means to move. Braja is to walk. So Brajavasis, they are willing to accept everything as Krishna's plan. There is no this thing. Something like, I didn't expect that things to happen in my life, something has happened. If we are ordinary conditioned living entities, we try to make adjustments, fight, do some things, and rebel. And the more we try to do that, the more we become stressful. Brajavasis see it as Krishna's hands. They accept it as Krishna's plan. If Krishna says, do it, they don't think twice, they don't hesitate. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. Aham tvam sarva papebhya mokshayishyami masucha. There also, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. Somebody, one commentator, one acharya says this is referring to the mood of Brajavasis. It is from Kurukshetra to Braja, that travel we have to do. We have to make that in our life, where we are able to see the hands of Lord in our life. Chandrapati Prabhu, he visited here sometime back when he was senior vice president of ISKCON Bangalore. He and Stoka Maharaj, they were given the responsibility of translating Bhagavad Gita from English to Kannada. So they were talking with some Kannada linguists, who knows, who are experts in Kannada. So they were translating, and this expert who knew apparently Sanskrit and Kannada very well came back to Prabhu and he said, I have found one mistake in Bhagavad Gita. So really? So they were also very curious, and he's a Sanskrit expert. He said the words that you people consider the most important, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. It should be Sarva Adharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. It cannot be Sarva Dharman, because Krishna descends to this material world for what? Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. He is coming, he is telling to re-establish the principles of religion. How can he say Sarva Dharman Parityajya? It should be Sarva Adharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. So it is not true. Actually, many of us may think maybe it is a mistake. Krishna is telling that we have so many dharmas. This family dharma, this desha dharma, this dharma, that dharma, so many obligations, responsibilities we have created. And we have forgotten the most important thing. Actually, we are Krishna's. I'm his part and parcel. Sarva dharma, and all these responsibilities hold us back. I want to go to Krishna. There is a hankering, I want to do this, but there are so many obligations, responsibilities. They hold us back in this material world, this material conceptions of life. He's saying, give up. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyam mokshayisyami mas. Such powerful assurance. Aham tvam sarva papebhyam. Don't worry about your sinful reactions. All of us are sinful. If we go and look back in our life, my God, so many sins we've done. Though we appear all very sophisticated, nice, and sit and talk nicely, all of us are. Otherwise, we would have not been here in this material world. So, Mahamekam Sharanam, Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyam Mokshayisyami. Don't worry how many sinful, what all sins you have done, doesn't matter. I will protect you from all the sinful reactions. Surrender unto me. Very interestingly, if you see the pages of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is giving various reasons why he descends. He's talking to Arjuna, trying to tell him that he should fight, and that is in his best interest. He speaks, and then he changes to show his Vishwarupa in the 11th chapter. And I don't know if I have that. So, interestingly, when Krishna shows his Vishwarupa, some of us, we hear and we get the instructions, we understand. Some of us are more visual, and the psychologists also capture that. Maybe just to do some kind of an experiment. And this is very important. I'm not just doing it for the sake of doing it. Some of us, we don't get it even if we hear it multiple times. But when we see it in our lives, maybe it has a profound impact, much more impact. So for example, what is your name? Raj. Okay, we will just see, you can pay attention whether Raj is an audio person or a visual person. Okay? So, I will ask you a question. Okay, the answer of that question will be yes or no. And if it is yes, then you have to say no. You have to shake your head. And if the answer is no, you have to say no, and then you have to say like this. Okay? Right? So, Raj, do you live in Massachusetts? You're taking a lot of time. You have to say yes, and you have to say like this. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, you got it, right? So, do you live in Massachusetts?
Yes.
Okay. Do you like visiting this temple?
Yes.
Would you like to go to Vrindavan?
Yes.
You are an audio person, because first you are saying yes, and then you are realizing, okay. Okay. Are you happy in your marriage? The point I'm trying to say is, Krishna, after having spoken so many instructions for the first 10 chapters, displays his Kala form. Now see, all these people that you are considering as your friends, relatives, enemies, they are crushed to death. So what is Krishna saying? Just become an instrument in my hand. Understand there is a plan, there is a reason why we all are here, and adapt to that plan. Accept that, become an instrument. Very interestingly, the Nimitta Matram Bhava Sabhyasachin, purport of that is very powerful, connected to our fasting that we are having. So in that Prabhupada is writing, so we have been having this verse for 2-3 times at least. Tasmat tvam udishta yasho labhasva jitva satvam bhunsva rajyam samradham maya vaite nihitah purvaneva nimitta matram bhava sabhyasachin. In the purport, Prabhupada writes, Sabhyasachin refers to one who can shoot arrows very expertly in the field. Thus Arjuna is addressed as an expert warrior. By the way, we are reading this morning quote, right? Those of you who have come to Mangalarti, you would have heard that we are reading this morning quote. Mangalarti, after Narasimha Arti, we sing the prayer to Prabhupada. What is that? Dear Srila Prabhupada and our dear Lordships, we pray at your lotus feet to empower us to continue practicing the July 9th Directive on Initiation, signed and ordered by Srila Prabhupada in ISKCON Bangalore group of temples, as well as in all your other temples, if you so desire. Please keep us under your shelter and bless us with your personal service. Chanchalpati Prabhu used to say that before we used to chant this prayer, which has been written by the senior devotees for the last few years, they used to chant this verse. Tasmat tvam udishta yasho labhasva jitva satvan bhunsva rajyam samriddham maya vaita nihita purvaneva nimitta matram bhava sabhyasachin. Therefore get up and prepare to fight. After conquering your enemies, you will enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, O Sabhyasachin, can be but an instrument in the fight. It's a very important thing. Sometimes people like us, when some wealth, power, position, intelligence comes, we become puffed up, we become proud. Even though we are engaged in devotional service, we think, I have done it. So to humble us, this verse is a reminder, we're just an instrument. The Lord had a plan. The pure devotee of the Lord, Srila Prabhupada, had a plan. There will be a beautiful temple like this in Shrewsbury. It's not that we have done it. None of us. We just became an instrument. When we think like that, the pride comes before a fall. And that is what is exactly mentioned in this verse, where somebody who becomes puffed up feels that there is no need for me to bow down before the Lord. I am in control of things. That is where the whole problem lies. That's where a person becomes less confident. Okay, now just for a moment, think. We are on 7:12. I have to finish the pastime also. Just think for a moment. But these are all very important concepts. Sometimes people don't understand the rationale. Who the Lord is. Why should I surrender? What happens when I surrender? And these questions are very profound. At least if these questions come, and if we get those proper answers, who's the Supreme Lord? And is it just Chandra, Ravi, Surya, Ketu, Rahu, Durga, anybody, everybody? Or I should worship everybody? Why only Krishna? People also question that. Answers are given. And those answers, when we know our faith, conviction in doing things, become so clear. And we become very, very confident in life. One thing, you see, just for your example, somebody who's thinking he's the controller versus somebody who's thinking Krishna is the controller of things. If this person who's thinking he's the controller meets a failure in his life, what will he feel? How will he feel? He'll feel it's me, or he'll feel what else? When you fail, when you experience failure in life, when you think you are in control of things, what happens to?
I could have done it.
Okay.
Devastation.
What is that?
Devastation.
Devastation. There could be depression because you are thinking, I was the controller, I was supposed to do this, I couldn't do it. There is grief, lamentation. What happens if you know that it is Krishna who is in control and I failed? What happens in that case? This is Krishna's plan. There is still hope inside you. There is a reason Krishna has done. I'm not supposed to feel so worried about it. Let me try again. If you get some success in life, and if you think you are in control of things, what happens in that case? It can be puffed up. Very good chance that a person may feel puffed up. I did it. I can do it. But if you think Krishna is in control of things, then what happens? There is a sense of gratitude because Krishna was in control. If you face some challenge and if you are having this mentality that you are the controller, what happens? The good chance that you may feel overwhelmed because the challenge is, big challenge is coming. You don't know how to face, what to do, and you may feel overwhelmed. But if you think Krishna is in control of things, the challenge is not a big challenge. The challenge may be big for me, not for Krishna, who is the supreme power, supreme protector. These are things we have to see very minutely. Let's go to the pastime. That is what we are here for, to at least listen a little bit. Little bit if we hear, my God, our life will be fully transformed. So this pastime happened when one fine day when Krishna got up and he saw that the entire Brajavasis, the residents of Nandas, they were busy preparing to worship Indra. And were making elaborate arrangements, some carts were filled with various kinds of preparations. Indra Yajna has to happen. You should read the beautiful narration by Prabhupada. Beautiful, actually. So they were making elaborate arrangements. Everybody, there are some devotees who have come in the morning, we've been cooking, we've made this beautiful form of Govardhan for all of you. You get a chance to see Govardhan. As I said, for the time being, just transport yourself to Vrindavan. Think that you are in Vrindavan. Okay, so like all these Brajavasis, they are busy preparing. Each one of you think that you are also busy. All preparation is going on. Men are busy, women are busy, children are crying, they're not doing. Nobody is bothered to look at them. They are just busy doing this because Indra Yajna is going to happen tomorrow. All this is going on. All of a sudden, Krishna came and asked Nanda Maharaj, why are you doing this? What is the purpose? क्यों कर रहे हो भाई? कभी-कभी क्या होता है ना, we don't ask questions. Prabhupada gives a very beautiful example elsewhere. There was a marriage party which was going on. Okay, there was a marriage which was happening, and the marriage, like the exchange of garland is over. Marriage was about to get completed. Suddenly, all of a sudden, the bride side mother, she came and she said, hold on, we have a very big important ritual that happens in our family. Without that, marriage cannot be complete. But what is that? You have to find a cat from somewhere, you have to bring it, and you have to keep the cat here and put a basket on top of that. If you do that, then the marriage will be complete. Everybody was very curious. What is this weird thing we have never heard? We've seen, exchange of garlands, putting vermilion and all those things, taking some fairas, all those things we know. What is this? Oh, it's very important. So then somebody inquired. Somebody, like some skeptical people who don't believe so easily, curious, find out, kya hua? And he told like that, when we got married, this tradition was there, we've been following. So they again traced back. What happened? So what happened was, many generations back, when the marriage was going on, there was a cat which came. The cat was, very quiet, sitting in one corner. It was not. Cat was just running hither and thither, it was going all over the place. So somebody was like, sometimes people don't understand the sensitivity in some small children. They don't know what's going on. They are making some noise or ruckus. Somebody has to take them away. So like that, somebody told that this cat which is making all this, nuisance over here, please capture him. They could not find anything over there. They found a basket, and they took the basket and put it on the top of cat. And the marriage was done properly. But many years after, when they had their children who have grown up, they forgot what was the thing. But all of a sudden, somebody said that one cat was there. There was one basket which was kept on that. So that has been continuing. Many times we don't question many things. Some puja, something, some tradition is going on. अरे क्या हो रहा है? वो दादा दादी भी करते थे, उनका दादा, उनका बेटा, उनका फादर, मदर, वो सब लोग करते थे, हम भी करते. We don't question. So Nanda Maharaj and Prabhupada writes in the purport. First thing we should ask is, what is the purpose? क्यों कर रहे हैं? हजार ये कुछ sambratas, this thing, that thing, which are not authorized, which are not mentioned in scriptures. People like to do because some movie show that whatever that chand you have to see, and then the husband has to come in front of that. Songs are written and all those things, and then we also say maybe we should also do. Where is it? What is the reference? So first thing is, what is the purpose? What is the result? And third thing is it just done simply because my forefathers and fathers are doing, or is there anything else that is authorized? Three things, very important. Otherwise, we keep doing something in the name of what we know is in our minds. Come to temples, bring some coconut, flowers, bow down, and then go back. That's all your wish, desires. If you remember, say to the Lord, otherwise that coconut and flower that you brought is enough for Lord to fulfill all your desires. He will anyway remember, so and so had come. He had come with all these coconuts and flowers. I should fulfill his desire. is what we think. But it is more than just, doing something blindly. When Krishna questioned like that, Nanda Baba kept quiet. So when Nanda Baba kept quiet, Prabhupada in the Acharya's comment, actually if a person is udara, magnanimous, he need not reveal it to a small child. Small child will come and ask, why should what is my this thing to explain it to him? But Krishna is not some ordinary child, he is the Supreme Lord. He said, no, Nanda Baba, I am actually your relative. There is no secret between relatives. You can't keep a secret between me and you. You have to tell me what is the reason. So then Nanda Baba said, we are all Vaishyas. We are all mercantile community. So Vaishyas are supposed to do krishi, like farming and some business. So we are dependent on Indra for the rain. Without Indra's sanction, we cannot get this. That is where Krishna questioned. Why do you have to worship Indra? Can anybody, those of you who have been coming here regularly, can tell what are the two reasons why we should not worship demigods as per Bhagavad Gita? Not because it is my saying, not because of, I love Krishna or something like that. What is it that Bhagavad Gita says? Why we should not worship any demigod separately?
Krishna is the root and demigods are the branches.
Okay.
Kamis
Prapadyante anya devataha. What is the two reasons? Forget about the verse. Kya hai? क्यों हमको
All
worship
the
करने दो?
demigods go through Krishna anyway, whatever they are, Krishna's representatives.
Okay, that is a good one. There is another one.
They are also souls like us.
There are also souls like us. They have done some pious credit and that's why they have been given these important positions. Fair enough. One very interesting thing.
Even they worship Krishna.
When they worship Krishna, they get the power from Krishna.
The results are temporary.
The results are temporary. So you may get some relief, but the results are temporary. Remember always, Hiranyakashipu wanted to become immortal. And he worshipped Brahma. Severe austerity. And when Brahma came to fulfill his benediction, to fulfill his desire, he said, well, I am also immortal. How can I give immortality if I myself am mortal? So then Hiranyakashipu came with a roundabout plan. Okay, you are not able to give me immortality. I will use my intelligence in such a way that I almost become immortal. Nobody should be able to kill me in daytime, nighttime, outside, inside. Animals, human beings, all kinds of, the life insurance coverage, as much as you can put all the conditions he put, and he said, okay, it looks like I'm almost immortal. But Krishna came as Narasimha, keeping all the conditions intact to recover. Fact is, the demigods can give us some boons, which is temporary. And the second thing is, like Mataji mentioned, they are also getting the power from Krishna. The power to sanction. The bank manager, if he thinks that the money that he is disbursing is his money, it's a mistake. He is just doing his duties. Maybe he will be disbursing millions of dollars, but he is doing it from the bank. He is just a mere employee there. Something like that. So these people are given this important position, they have to execute their things. Krishna said there is no need to worship them separately. He gave three reasons why they should worship Govardhan instead. And it's very important, and that's what the Brajavasis ended up doing. First thing that he said is, if you are doing krishi, if you are doing this farming, and if you are doing all of those things, then all the necessities, the supplies, the grass, everything is coming from Govardhan. The water and the cows go and they graze there. So we should go and worship Govardhan because Govardhan is not different from me. We will come to that. And Krishna says, like, there are three examples that he gives. Like when we are watering the roots of the trees, every single branch, twigs, leaves, everything gets nourished. You don't have to do it separately. Similarly, when we are eating food, we are not eating with our hands or we are not eating with our fingers. We put it in our mouth and it goes to the stomach. Every part of the body gets nourished. Like that, when we worship the Supreme Lord, it is worshipping the roots or it is putting the food in the stomach. Every part of the body gets nourished. You don't have to do separately. So Nanda Baba said, all said and done, what you are saying is right. What we will do is, we will do a Indra Yajna tomorrow. After that, we will do a Govardhan Puja to keep your this thing. So Krishna said, did he agree? He said, no. Whatever, we can't wait. Whatever preparations you have made now, right now, with all those preparations, we will go to Govardhan Hill and we will worship that. So it is the Supreme Lord, and they all got convinced. So Krishna leads them, and they all go and they circumambulate the Govardhan Hill. And Krishna told them, bring samosas, gulab jamuns, various kinds of rice preparations. And he came, and they were all there surrounding, they circumambulated. So the Lord himself inaugurated this Govardhan Parikrama. Jai Radha Giri Dhari Ki. Jai Radha Giri Govardhan Dhari Ki. So the Lord did that, and when they were doing that, they saw that Krishna was there inside the Govardhan. When they were doing that parikrama, they saw that Krishna was there in that Govardhan, non-different from him. And he was eating all the food preparations made by this Brajavasis. And in the Braja language, it is called Anior, give me more. What is this? This is just very, very nice. So huge quantities of annakut is made with love and devotion by all these covered women, covered men. They brought and then they offered it to Krishna. So when all these things are going on, who was disturbed? Indra. How foolish these people of Braja they are, listening to an ordinary child, some 7-year-old, and forgot about my yajna. They forgot who I am. Without my sanction, without my giving rain, they will rot. Now I will show them my wrath. Then he called for Sambardhaka cloud. We might have seen some very dark cloud in our lives. We might have seen some lightning and thunders we have heard. But Sambardhaka cloud is called for at the time of destruction. So this huge, Bhagavatam describes the rainfall which was falling was like the shape of a pillar. Big pillars of rains were falling. And heavy wind and shivering and all these things. The cows were so scared because they were in open this thing. And they started crying, and the calves were looking at them helplessly. What to do? They all rushed to Krishna. This is the difference between Brajavasis and us. It's a big difference. When there is problems, difficulties, we try to solve ourselves, we forget Krishna. We are always forgetful of Krishna. Actually, difficulties are in one way good reminders. We think of the Lord at that time. Otherwise, that remembrance also doesn't come. They all rushed to Krishna. Said, Krishna, we probably did a big mistake. We shouldn't have done this. We should never do this. Krishna said, don't worry. And then he lifted this Govardhan hill with the left hand, smallest finger. And it is mentioned in Bhagavatam like a mushroom is picked. I don't know, have you ever picked a mushroom? How heavy a mushroom is? The softest. It's very, very tiny, very little this thing. They just pick it up like this. Krishna lifted Govardhan like this. And of course, the cowherd men and the cowherd boys, they were out of great concern. They were putting their stick. How poor Nanda and Krishna, how will you lift this? We have to help all of you, help. And they were keeping it, their stick. And they were standing there for 7 days and 7 nights. Imagine, the arrogance or the impudence of Indra. He wanted to teach them a lesson, destroy and inundate completely Vrindavan. But Krishna lifted. Some logicians think, and they question. Actually, I heard this long back when I was talking about this pastime of Govardhan lifting. What about their food, bro? Where did they eat? Was there some separate arrangements made by someone to cook? Well, Krishna, when he lifted and he started playing his flute, all the material hankerings were gone. You see this picture, I told you, I will give you sufficient opportunities to meditate on this. One of the greatest regret that the Brajavasis had was that, Krishna used to go to graze cows in the morning. So the cowherd boys were very happy. They will be so happy. Sun has risen. Sun rises. If the sun rises early, they are very happy because they are anticipating now they will be with Krishna. But the cowherd women, the gopis, they will be shedding tears. They will be looking, Krishna is gone for the whole day. Now we will be living in separation of him. But they will be looking forward to the evening when the moon shines and they go for the Rasa Leela. That is the best time when they are there with Krishna. So that is why in Vrindavan you will find there is a Surya Kund and there is a Chandra Kund. So Chandrakund, that is the place where these Gopas go and they worship, and they think that the moon should set early. If the moon sets early, then the sun will rise, they will have more time to play with Krishna. Surya Kund, all these gopis, they go and they worship the sun god that you should set early today. All this, the men, they used to be thinking, okay, maybe they are asking for some long life of their husbands, or they want some good husbands, that's why they are worshipping Surya. It is actually mentioned, one should worship. So they are doing that, they allow them, but they are worshipping for another reasons. But in this one pastime of the Lord, where he lifted 7 days and 7 nights, all of them, covered boys, covered the gopis, all of them were together for day and night, 24/7, 168 hours together in one place. So that way Krishna actually, forgot Indra or forgave Indra very easily compared to Brahma. Because in this pastime they were together. But when Brahma Vimohan happened, he actually took away those cowherd boys, and that was more difficult for Krishna to tolerate. So this is in nutshell the pastime. Of course, then Indra realized after 7 days nothing has happened. Bhagavatam mentions not even a leaf from Govardhan fell down, not even one leaf. He realized, right, what is this going on? So then he came down and he realized his mistake and he falls down. He comes with his Airavat, and then Airavat takes water from Ganges and does Abhishekam to Krishna. And also comes with Surabhi cows, and Surabhi cows gives milk, and from that milk also another Abhishekam happens. So if you go to Govardhan, you will find there are kundas. There is Indra Kunda, there is Airavat Kunda, and there is Surabhi Kunda. They are still there, those places. And Krishna forgave, of course, he said that, like all this pride and all, when it comes, you forget what is the real thing, and it can happen to any one of us. Very easy to get carried away. Because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentions, Prakriti Kriyamani, Gune Karmani Sarvasa, Ahankara Vimudahatma, Kartaham iti manyate. Very easy to think that I am the controller, I am the doer, because of false ego. And Krishna actually gave him a lesson. The second thing why we do this, one of the important things about discussing this, I'm already 2 minutes over. I have exactly 3 minutes to stop, and we will have the further program. You can repeat this verse after me. Smarantaha smarayantascha mitho agho ughaharam harim bhaktya sanjataya bhaktya Vibhrati utpulakam tanum. The translation is, the devotees of the Lord constantly discuss the glories of the personality of Godhead among themselves. Thus, they constantly remember the Lord and remind one another of His qualities and pastimes. In this way, by their devotion to the principles of Bhakti Yoga, the devotees please the personality of Godhead, who takes away from them everything inauspicious. Agha, Ogha, Haram, Hari. Agha is all the simple things. Agha, Ogha, Haram, who takes away everything inauspicious in our life. Being purified of all impediments, the devotees awaken to pure love of Godhead. And thus, even within this world, their spiritualized bodies exhibit symptoms of transcendental ecstasy, such as standing of the bodily hairs on mind. It happens actually if our consciousness is proper, and we are hearing Bhagavatam in the right mood, and as I was mentioning, though it is difficult, with all the sounds, noise, distractions, our mind, all kinds of things to transport ourselves. But if you really transport and see that you are there with Krishna playing his flute, lifting the Govardhan, 7 days and 7 nights of torrential rain couldn't even do anything to them. This can happen to every one of us. If we take shelter of the Lord, if we understand that our real position is we are Krishna's, enough I have done these things, being the controller, trying to control things and do things independently. Let me take shelter of the Lord this time. We can experience the same transcendental ecstasy as the Brajavasis used to experience. Unfortunately, there is a big ego which comes in our way, and it doesn't allow us to surrender. That faith we lack. That faith can come when somebody accepts the spiritual master, pure devotee spiritual master, and hear about the pastimes of the Lord in association with devotees. That faith also arises inside us. I'll close with one thing. Okay, this is very interesting. True independence comes from dependence on Krishna. When one voluntarily surrenders to a saintly person who is a representative of Krishna and follows his instructions, one can become freed from sinful reaction. Krishna demands the surrender of a sinful man, and Krishna's representative gives the same instructions. The representative of Krishna never tells his disciple, surrender unto me. Rather, he says, surrender unto Krishna. If the disciple accepts this principle and surrenders himself to the representative of Krishna, his life is saved. There is a very interesting thing, with this we will close. When the Lord lifted the hill, it served as an umbrella, and all the residents of Vrindavan took shelter under the hill and were protected from the torrents of rain sent by Indra. But the umbrella of the Lord is little different from the umbrella that we carry. Sometimes, we see the weather forecast and many of us carry some umbrellas with us if we are traveling. But here is the difference between the umbrella which the Lord carries and that we carry. Tapatrayena avihatasya ghore santapya manasya bhavadvanisha pashyami nanyam charanam tadangri danda atapatrat amrita vivarsha. So very interestingly, what happens is, the umbrella that we carry, it protects us from the rain. But here the Lord's umbrella has got little difference. It is called atapatrat. So atapatrat means umbrella, and abhihatasya. Abhihatasya means this three modes of material nature which is tormenting us, like the rains. It's constantly falling. Of course, the Lord protects that. This umbrella also has another way where there is some shower which is falling on us. It is not just protecting us from the miseries, it is also Amrita Avivarsa. There is nectar which will shower. If you take the shelter of the umbrella of the Lord, it will protect you from the onslaught of miseries, and it will also do a small little tiny shower on you, and the shower is the shower of nectar. How wonderful this umbrella is. We will stop here. As I said, I have exceeded the time. But hopefully you could release this pastime of Vrindavan, and at least for the time being, you could think of Govardhan and you could transport yourself, and mentally at least you could have gone around. If you could not do it, we will have a chance where you will go around this Govardhan hill now. Pray to Giri Govardhan. Pray to Krishna or Giridhari. Enough in my life I have been independent. Enough I have been trying to become the enjoyer and controller in this world. This life, oh Lord, I'm asking, I'm begging for your mercy. I want to take your shelter. Please keep me under your shelter. Please somehow protect me so that I go back to you, back to God. Shri Giri Govardhan ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanand.